Alright, so this tutorial is going to talk about some of the PNG properties and generating graphics for the web and sort of working around some of the font restrictions that are available online. A lot of the CSS has ready-made fonts that you have to use and you have to engage when you have some of the type. If you want to work around that, you can utilize Photoshop to plug in fonts and sort to engage that. This is not recommended for body text and things like that, but if you have a title block where you have a really custom font and you want that to appear, this is a good workaround for that. Also, as you get more into this and you actually want to develop those graphics, I would strongly recommend you utilize Flash. That'll maintain the vector properties of the font so it actually will remain smooth. This is going to pixelate all of your text, but it's a nice graphic workaround for at least an introduction into the interface here. So I have the button I was working on in a previous tutorial here. I've turned off all the layers, and this is where that sort of background layer, that checkered box represents that it's transparent. And we can start to save this out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and activate my crop tool. Maybe this will let me do this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and widen that out. Alright, and then so I'm going to go ahead and take this, and then I'm going to type the text tool. And I'm going to type the text tool, and then I'll be able to edit this. So I can go ahead and come in here and change this to design. And you can see, you guys, this is obviously a really sort of fancy font. Alright, and so then what we can do is, if we take this, we can then crop this, we can go ahead and, we only want exactly the amount of the footprint of the image, so we can snap this all the way to the edges of the graphic. Alright. We hit enter, and we'll commit to that. If we hit V, it'll commit to this. And so now we have our graphic here. So now what we can do is, this is transparent background, so this will enable us to sit this over whatever we want to sit it over. We can go ahead and hit Control Shift Save. And we'll save this as a PNG. We'll call this Title 1. Okay. Right now, if we come into Dreamweaver, and I'm just going to go ahead and create a new document here. I'll scale this and so you guys can see it. We can go ahead and insert that, import that image from our and we're going to go ahead and ignore that error here. And if we go then to modify the page properties, we can see that it's maintained our transparency even though our text is appearing there. So we can start to organize this in the AP divs and we can get that set up appropriately.